Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. I know I said I was going to put out a few videos last week. I got out two, so that was a big thing. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be talking and answering a question that I thought would be better put into a video, and it relates to videos that I have been doing. I have been doing some true crime videos and talking a little bit about my past experience. It actually made me stop and think if this is something I would do. So the question that was brought to my attention was, would I date a partner or continue dating a partner that killed a family member or a friend? And this is not an easy question to answer, and let me explain this. Murder changes a person. Killing another human being, that changes you. And that also affects the people around you. I've seen it personally. My ex's father committed murder, and, even though at the time I was not dating him, I was still in an abusive situation with him. And during that time, the abuse did get a lot worse because they were angry, and a lot of things were going around, and they became a lot more violent. And I can't imagine being with somebody that would commit murder. I know that seems a lot more simpler when I said that it's not an easy answer, just because I'm explaining past experiences. No, I don't think I could be with somebody that committed that. It's, like I said, it changes who you are as a human being. And being around something like that, it honestly does change the people that are in close proximity of it and outwards. And it does affect you. And would I stand by somebody that did that? I don't think I could. That, I don't know, here's the thing. If it was like self-defense and it didn't it was an accident and it wasn't planned, it just a complete accident, random act of randomness, or it was in self-defense because that family member was coming after them or their friend was coming after them and they were being attacked, I would be able to stand by that person a little bit more than a person that just went out and woke up one day and decided to kill somebody, Again, if they, serial killer or not, if they planned it, basically, I don't think I could stand behind that person, because the psychology right there is just saying that, if you are near that person, they are more likely to kill you. Like, that's just how research has shown that most killers kill their partner. And, that's, no, I don't think, I would not stand behind a person like that. However, if it was self-defense, and they did not mean to do it, it was just, life or death situation, or an random act of randomness, that a car accident or something like that, or there was an altercation and a person shoved them and that person ended up dying because of that. It wasn't intended, it was an accident, and trust me, they will carry that for the rest of their lives. Not to say that a murderer doesn't, but they most likely lack the ability to process that as they feel like a horrible human being. I mean, some murderers do. Like, I mean, they show it, but most of them lack the ability to even have that ability to process. So they don't want to. They like killing, right? But if it's most likely an accident, that person's going to feel like shit for the rest of their lives, right? And that is a person I could stand behind and help. But it does change you. It will affect the people around you. It doesn't, it's not an easy or simple answer or question. And I don't think most people will have maybe, well, I mean, some people might have a cutthroat, like, no, whatsoever, I would cut them out of my life for good, or the complete opposite, right? There's a small of us, like me, that are kind of like in the middle, that have that opinion, where it's very split. But that, here's the thing. Even if, you know, it was an accident, didn't mean to happen, self-defense, you have to be prepared as a person that's close to that person, whether it's a partner or a friend or a family member. You have to be prepared for that to change them, and also for you to change through this process, because, you know, there's going to be media, there's going to be lots of court cases and trials, and because sometimes there's multiple trials, sometimes, you know, there's multiple court dates, you know, it depends on how long a trial lasts. It will change you as a human being. It will eat at your soul a little bit. And my window's open, just to let you guys know, so if you hear voices in the background, no, you're not hearing things, it's the outside universe. You know, I was in a situation, like I said at the beginning of this video, where it was not a good situation. The violence that I endured got a lot worse during this time of, you know, when this was still fresh. And I couldn't really process this at the time. It was kind of more like surviving what was going on. But yeah, I mean, my ex's father committed murder, okay? And he is close to, or was close to his father in a way. And that affected him, you know? And he was angry, and, you know, I found that he enjoyed hurting and being cruel a lot more during that time. It made sense to them. It felt like that this was right. You know, they had a right to do it because they were going through their emotions and all that stuff with the whole situation. And that's just not an excuse. Just because a family member committed a crime doesn't mean you have the right to act out and hurt people around you. That doesn't give you a scapegoat, even though the people did that were around us, the adults at the time did. They gave them a scapegoat because of this, because they were maybe afraid of backlash from the family, or, you know, they felt maybe that I don't know, maybe that they were gonna come after them. I don't know, but to me, it just gave them a green card to do whatever the hell they wanted to, and I don't think that's right, just because, you know, a family member committed a crime. And that's another way to look at it, guys. On which I didn't plan on kind of talking about it that way, but I just want to give you kind of like an inside view. I mean, again, this doesn't happen. I don't know if this happens to, like, people out there. This was just my experience with it. And it was scary. It was honestly very scary to be in that moment. Because I knew back then, even though like I didn't fully process it, that their father was capable of murder. Not that there is a murderer gene or serial killer gene, that's not proven, but people that are in violent situations are most likely to be violent. And, you know, I did not know, my life felt more in danger than it ever did before during that time. Throughout the whole abuse, during that time, from the time that, their father was arrested, to the time I graduated. So it was almost, I don't know, 8 months or whatever. I was more scared for my life in that time due to their actions and what they were saying, what they were threatening with. I was generally more scared for my life in that time. And even though I couldn't process it back then, looking back and kind of working through all of that, yeah, it is freaking scary. Again, this is just my experience. So kind of being in a close proximity of a scenario like that, being with somebody who, full on just went out and killed somebody, I can't even imagine that. Now, I don't think, even though I said, like, I think I would be with somebody that, if they did it by accident or they had no choice, I don't think I could date them through that situation. Reason being is they are processing a lot of shit, okay? They are dealing with a lot of shit, and a lot of relationships don't pan out during that time. I would let them know that I'm, like, not that I would say, oh, well, you did some shit, I'm backing out. I would have a conversation with them of, do you need time? I know this is a lot. And, if it was an accident, whatever, and, they didn't have a choice, the life was threatening, I would have that serious conversation of, like, can you be in a relationship? Excuse me. I would be here to support you through that, but I don't think a relationship, there's a lot of shit that, you would have to process together and, of course, separate, right? So in order to kind of work that shit out together, you kind of have to figure out your shit and what you want and then proceed forward, right? Then again, I could be completely speaking out of my ass, and there's that, right? But yeah, space, let them know that you are there for them, but space is a rational thing in that situation. It's not a whole, like, fight or flight situation. It's more like you don't know what they are capable in a situation, like having violent outbursts and all that stuff. You need to do what's best for you. So you need to listen to your gut and be like, can I be around a person 24/7 that has done some shit like that? Or do I need to give them some space so I can figure out my shit, they can figure out their shit, but still be there for them when you need them, type of thing, Again, some people can be with a murderer, that is fine. There's a lot of fangirls out there and fanboys that are into that shit, that is their preference. This was just a question that, was brought to me, like, what was my opinion? And I know, again, it's not a very easy yes or no, and that might seem a little messed up to a lot of people, but there's a lot of things to go through and talk about and whatnot. But no, I don't think I could be with somebody that was just straight out cold-heartedly murdered somebody. Now, I'm going to flip that switch around and be like, can I still be in contact with a family member or friend that was a cold-blooded killer? I think a family member is a lot different. I would probably want to know why and talk to them. You know, blood is blood, but of course the bond or the connection will never be the same. I would have a lot of like questions, but again, it would never be the same, right? But if it was manslaughter by accident, you know, again, it's a different situation. It's different. I don't think you would know how to handle a situation until you like ass deep in it. So this is kind of just me, you know, pulling shit out of my ass a little bit. You know, you would want to support them in the best way possible. Again, also making sure that you're safe in the process of it. So yeah, doing what's best for you, of course, but yeah, it's again, it's not an easy question to answer. And you just have to do what's best for you. And I hope to God I am never in a situation like that. You know, where I'm with somebody and they end up being a cold-hearted, bloody murderer. You know, I really hope that never happens to me. Or, you know, if I am with somebody that accidentally killed somebody or had to kill somebody in order to save themselves, I really hope I'm never in a situation like that. I really hope nobody has to be in a situation like that. It's just, you know, you can say one thing now and then the situation is completely different, right? It all depends on how you handle it, but it comes down to the fact that, no, I would not continue being in a relationship with a cold-hearted, blooded killer, or if a family member, it's just a whole lot of, it's complicated, right? But no, I have seen what, you know, I've been kind of in a close proximity to a situation like that, and it's a very complex situation. And again, I don't think you'll fully know what to do until, hope to God, hypothetically, that you're in a situation like that. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. You guys can drop your opinions down below. Remember, be respectful in the comments below. If you guys want me to talk about a topic or you want to have a conversation that you don't feel like talking about in the comments, remember, my contact information is in the description below. Anyways, guys, I hope you are staying safe. And, yeah, okay, that just ends this video here. I'm coming to the end of this video, and I still have no idea what the title of this video is going to be, so... yeah, we'll see. You guys are probably clicking on this, so I have come up with a title. Anyways, guys, wish me luck on that. Anyways, never give up, always keep fighting. You're enough, and you're very much loved. Until the next video, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.